baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 193. How you doing, Mark?
Good, good. We are planning. How you doing, Jay?
I
I don't care. I'm just asking. We are going to spend the entire episode covering the Israeli-Palestinian crisis. Non-stop coverage about this. Let's do it. Just kidding.
Good, because I know nothing about it. I know there's a lot of bombs, and people are very angry. That's about the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah. Let's discuss something else. Though they apparently did negotiate a ceasefire for starting 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. The only reason I find that funny is why wouldn't the ceasefire start now?
Right. It's like
get your bombs in.
It's like, oh, we're going to keep shooting each other, but we're going to stop, but don't stop for 12 hours.
Missiles on both sides. Go. You have 12 more hours to go. You could do all the destruction you want to, but you better get it done before Good Day New York starts.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Let's see. Since last show, it was my birthday.
Oh, nice. I knew that because I came and got a drink with you out in Queens, even though apparently on the weekend, half of the transportation to Queens shuts down because New York City doesn't give a crap about Queens.
Only on weekends of my birthday.
Yes, it was almost impossible to get there. I halfway through the trip I was like, God damn it, I'm halfway. Might as well go.
Thank you, MTA. Please feel free to raise the price again.
Yeah.
So I did not know that I had chosen a gay bar.
Oh, come on. You didn't know.
I was not aware of that until I... See, the thing is...
Do you want to explain that you chose a gay bar? You're just like, yeah, I chose a gay bar. Okay, anyhow, moving on.
Well, I didn't know.
I heard it was a good gay bar. I'm just going to hang out with guys anyhow.
But because the trains were messed up, I got there 45 minutes before anybody else did.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't have to take a train. And so, I don't know if you have a lot of gay friends. Are they always so vulgar?
I don't have a lot of gay friends. And I believe in the bar setting, I have no idea, actually.
Because
did anyone buy you a drink?
That was me dropping my microphone. Did a gay guy buy me a drink?
Well, yeah. Did they? I mean, you were sitting there by yourself. Did anyone buy you a drink?
No, but a guy sat down next to me and chatted me up, and that's why I was asking if they're usually vulgar, because within 5 minutes he was talking about tearing my pussy up. And
did you explain to him? No, sir. I don't actually have one of those.
Well, they call the asshole the man pussy.
Did he explain that to you, or did you just happen to know that?
No, I have some gay friends, so I knew that. I did not think I would be at the receiving end of a conversation like that, especially
did you get a free drink
alone
or not?
on my birthday. No, he did not buy me a drink.
Well, you're like, well, I'm not letting you tear apart my man pussy without a free drink.
He said only for a little bit, though, as if that makes it better.
For a little bit. Yeah. What was your response?
I think I just had like this open mouth look of shock on my face because I think I was speechless because
it's a numbers game. If you ask to tear apart a man pussy enough times, you'll get to do one.
See, the conversation was not going there at all. Like, I don't know how it all of a sudden happened because it was like, you know, oh, this place has a good happy hour. Where do you usually go? Oh, I usually go to this other place. Yeah, you know, I would tear your pussy up, but just a little bit. I'm like, how did that just happen?
Serious, you're like, oh yeah, no. I mean, the Mets aren't playing that well, but they have a good future ahead of them. I don't want to have that in my. I didn't know see the conversation going there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was a little unexpected.
Did he continue to talk to you?
For a minute or two. I think he was slowly realizing that I was not gay.
You were just lost?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Sir, I'm just lost. I am not. I don't know how I ended up here.
Because he kept saying something like, "Who are you?" And I don't know if that was like code or something, but I'm just like, "I'm Jay."
Would you need a code in a gay bar?
Yeah, you got to establish if
Well,
you're
why would you need a code in a gay bar? Isn't that the one place where you don't need a code?
well, you got to establish if you're a top or a bottom.
Do they really have to establish that? Can't they just like establish that like, hey, we're both taking off our clothes. Let's talk about this now.
Well, I mean, you don't want to like get to that stage. You go back to your apartment, you're about to hook up, and then you find out you're both tops, and it just doesn't work.
Is there really like a strong preference thing where one person doesn't do both?
I think for a lot of people there are. We should have done this podcast with a gay co-host.
Yeah, that would be a lot more helpful.
Instead of just two straight dudes trying to like guess all this stuff.
I'm not going to do the research to find out, but you can get a guest for the next show to explain this to us.
I'm pretty sure some people have very strong positional preferences.
Is that great?
Yeah, I did not realize this until my friends came out and actually were talking about this. I'm like, I had no idea. I thought everyone did everything and it was just a big party.
Cool. So you had a good birthday?
It was all right.
Did you know that Adam Sandler keeps making movies?
I did. Did you know that he stopped trying about 10 years ago?
You sent me this. We were talking about today. He has a new movie coming out called Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, in which what's the guy? Nick Swartzen. Who, if you've seen his comedy, you know he's not funny. Teamed up with Adam Sandler to make the first movie on Rotten Tomatoes to may have ever gotten a 0%.
I have never seen a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought it's hard to do a 0%. I thought you get 1% is just like from companies, like the movie company just like pays to write good reviews.
Or not even Adam Sandler himself gave a good review for that movie.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's usually one idiot out there who thinks everything's funny.
Adam Sandler, why does he get to make movies anymore?
Because he has like a loyal following.
I assume it goes something like this. So like, hey, Adam Sandler walked in here, he wants to make another movie. Oh, that Adam Sandler, I loved him in Happy Gilmore. Yeah, but he hasn't made another movie in I just did greenlight it. He's funny. He's comedy gold.
He's got a following of like millions of people who will go see whatever he makes.
I don't believe that. I don't think his movies make money.
I think they at least break even and they get to go on a vacation. If you notice, all his last 7 movies have all been exotic locations.
The only ones that make money now are grown-ups.
And that got a 10 on Rotten Tomatoes?
That was pretty bad. I saw the first one, which was pretty bad. I saw it on a plane. And the second one, I assume, was just as bad. He made That's My Boy, Jack and Jill, just tons of movies that no one ever wanted to see. Or no one actually, most people haven't seen these movies.
Well, they're making some money or they wouldn't keep greenlighting it.
I don't think they're actually making a lot of money.
I don't think they're making a lot of money.
I don't think they're making money, sorry.
You don't think they're making anything?
I literally they're making no money. Let's see how much money Jack and Jill made. I'm going to look this up.
If he's making money on this, then that's on the viewing audience. And people who actually go there and complain it's bad.
Jack and Jill got a 3%. It made $74 million. I stand corrected.
Did you say $74 million?
$74 million.
Well, that's why he does it.
It got a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just him in drag. It's just not. It's not even a good skit for SNL.
Yeah, I know. He tried that in 1994, and it was
Katie
terrible.
Holmes and Al Pacino were also in the movie.
Oh my God.
That's My Boy, which is also supposed to be horrendous.
He also
that gets a 20% actually, which is 6 times as good as the other movie.
That's like an Emmy award-winning Adam Sandler movie.
That made $36 million. So apparently, the better the review it gets, the less money it actually makes.
Yeah, his best movie in the last 10 years was Hotel Transylvania, and that probably made nothing.
I did not see that one. 8 Crazy Nights. That's a long time ago, actually. Got 12%, and that was his Hanukkah cartoon. It made $23 million.
Yeah, so he makes these crappy movies. Everyone goes to see it, and that's it.
Yeah. I'm baffled. I'm baffled there's not like an executive out there with a hit on Adam Sandler.
But everyone, the majority of people go see it, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe how bad that was. And it's like, he hasn't made a good movie in 15 years. Why is that shocking to you?
Yeah, I give you right. He's had 3 good movies.
That many?
Yeah, legitimately, Happy Gilmore is good. Billy Madison, and I guess maybe Waterboy. It's actually Waterboy's pretty bad.
Waterboy was bad. And even if you count that, that means his most recent good movie was 1998.
Yeah, maybe Big Daddy.
I didn't see that one, but we're still in the 90s.
Liz said, my wife says, Chuck and Larry she thought was good.
I thought that one was not bad at all.
My wife is now on the podcast. Come on, talk. Let's.
Thought it was cute.
She thought it was cute. You think it was okay? Jay liked it. Jay said it was the best movie he's ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, right, Jay?
No, but I'm going to count that for argument's sake as
Number 3?
No, I'm going to count that as a Kevin James movie.
It got a 14%, and it made $120 million.
Okay.
Big hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to count that as Kevin James. Adam Sandler hasn't made a good movie since the 90s.
I think comedians get 3 movies, and that's it. After that, you should just stop giving them movies. I think we might have to talk about this before. But, like, most comedians, 3 movies, and that's, like, Jim Carrey, he has, like, 3 good movies, and then, like, it just falls off majorly.
Yeah, if you don't count it as serious movies. Like, Eternal Sunshine was really good.
Yeah, well, it's not. But if you don't count, if you count,
You didn't like that movie?
Oh my God, that movie was so annoying. You really liked that movie?
I
And
thought
we're
it was-
talking about a movie like from 10 years ago.
I thought it was very good.
It was internally annoying movie of this like, here's all the other scenes that don't really matter, and this movie sucks. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Ah, my wife hates it also.
All right.
That's why I married her. Basically, just the fact that she hates that movie. That movie had like it was the worst part of that movie was like the beginning of the movie. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Then an hour and a half of just mind-drumming boredom, and then the last 10 minutes. Oh, this would have been an interesting movie if you just had it just switch out that middle hour and a half. It was an interesting idea, and the movie was just terrible.
Okay. Well,
But I'm sure you liked it. I'm sure it was great. I'm sure it was the best movie you ever saw. And I loved it. I watched that like every night before I go to bed. I watched that movie.
I just get ready for bed 2 hours before and watch that movie.
Listen, boss, I'm late for work because I didn't get to finish Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind last night. Oh, you don't like that movie? I quit this company.
So if you weren't aware that we were doing a show tonight,
Then you're like most people.
you're like, well, also you may have checked our Facebook on August 1st because Facebook went down. And so many people called.
Facebook went down?
Yes.
Did you know, honey, did you know Facebook went down? And I don't call her honey except for the show. We were not aware that Facebook went down.
Well, so many people called the cops that they actually had to post on Twitter that Facebook is not a law enforcement issue and please don't call us about it being down.
Could they arrest everyone that calls the cops for Facebook?
I think technically they could, but apparently there was enough people that they felt it necessary to post on Twitter. So I guess they would have just spent the next month arresting everybody.
Speaking of Facebook, every couple days or so, I have an invite from your girlfriend for Candy Crush.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'll tell her to stop.
No, she can keep doing it. I'm just wondering. She says Candy Crush. You do. What's that game you play?
Candy Crush?
Oh, it is Candy Crush. What's your obsession with Candy Crush?
I don't know. I like puzzle games, and it's like a quick thing to do on the bus.
Did you pay money for that?
Hell no. No, I will never pay a dime for a game like that.
You heard that Kim Kardashian is making $200 million a week on her game?
That is disgusting.
I didn't know she had a game, but apparently people are insane.
Somebody on Cracked reviewed it, And basically, a cartoon version of her tells you to fold her clothes, and you click the button to fold her clothes until you run out of energy, and then you either have to wait or pay money to get more energy to fold her clothes.
Sorry, the game makes $700,000 a day. And people are paying $700,000 for this stupid game.
Have we figured out the appeal of her?
I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand why she's famous. I mean, I get she did a porn. Like a lot of people do porn. Why?
A lot of people, and a lot of people who are way hotter.
She's a semi-attractive girl. Did like some random bootleg amateur porn and friends with Paris Hilton, and became huge off of it.
I don't get it.
And she had a famous dad and all that also.
I mean, she's all right looking, but I mean, there's plenty of people better looking.
I mean, she's like the symbol for like. Well, I guess I don't know. Who's worse, her or Paris Hilton? They're both pretty worthless.
Yeah, they're both really worthless. I feel like Kardashian might be worse because
There's
like,
so many of them.
One, there's so many of them. Two, it's so like the mom like produces like every aspect of their lives. Like at least Paris Hilton was like, I'm famous, but I don't care. I'm still just gonna get fucked up and like just walk around all fucked up every day. Like Kim actually tries to.
How about the Kardashians ruin multiple NBA careers?
They ruin multiple NBA careers, and they try and pretend like they're actually something when they're absolutely not.
Oh my God. Miss Kardashian, how do you become famous? I have no idea.
I mean, Paris Hilton has made a horror movie, which, you know, it was terrible, but at least she tried. And she DJs at clubs. I have no idea how that is, but at least she's doing something.
She even has a singing career.
So and she's trying to do things.
And she was in commercials. The Kardashians, whatever, she doesn't do anything besides her show.
Right, which is just her sitting there, literally just sitting there. My girlfriend's watched a few episodes, and I walked in, and they're just sitting on the couch, like, talking.
So you should berate your girlfriend for watching the show. My wife watches it also. I'm like, why do you watch this crap?
Oh, yeah, no, well, we have this conversation every time it's on.
Wait, speaking of Facebook also, we have Facebook questions. Should we do those?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Alex writes, you seen Sharknado 2 yet?
I have not seen Sharknado 2.
Have you seen Sharknado 1?
Sadly, I have not.
Do you know what Sharknado is?
I do, yeah. Do you?
Explain it to me.
It is a... Sci-Fi Channel likes making these B horror movies and getting actresses that were famous about 15 years ago. So they had like Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, and they had Debbie Gibson star in it. And then now they have Sharknado with Tara Reid. And basically it's a tornado full of sharks.
That's kind of what I thought it was, and that's hilarious.
Yeah. No, they're all hilarious. Like I watched Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Was that good?
No, they're all terrible, but they're like they
Like,
know
odds is not good in like, ooh, I wonder if it's going to win the Academy Award this year, but like good as in this is terribly funny.
Right, like they know they're being terrible.
They go over the top. Like it looks like the budget for this one was $2 million, which in terms of movie budgets is really little.
Yes. So it's not like Gigli, which is like bad, but they thought they were being good. Like they know they're terrible.
The group decides to stop the threat of incoming Sharknadoes from Wikipedia by tossing bombs into them from a helicopter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's an hour and a half of complete ridiculousness.
Do they have a third grade writing contest for these movies?
Yeah.
The general idea is like, I'm going to make a shark hurricane. Son, don't tell that to anyone else. I want to bring this to the Sci-Fi Channel right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the more hilarious the name, the more likely it is to get greenlit.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I have not, but I kind of wanted to say, I didn't know about Sharknado 1, but after hearing that there was a part 2, I kind of wanted to see part 1. Sean writes, seen any weird things in the New York skies? I've seen some crazy stuff in the ATL skies.
Well, now I want to know what you saw in the Atlanta skies.
Sean, let us know what you've seen in the Atlanta skies, and maybe you could tell us about what you've seen. I've seen airplanes and clouds.
I saw 3 helicopters hovering very close to my apartment, which was extremely loud at 6 in the morning. And it turns out there was an accident on the highway, and all the news stations felt that to get a low-res picture from 1,000 feet up in the air was worth waking up an entire neighborhood.
Yeah, seems about right.
So I thank Channel 7 News on their Twitter and Facebook pages for waking the entire town of Astoria up at 6 in the morning so they can show a grainy picture of a crashed car.
So, Sean, do you see aliens? And do you think people spend too much time trying to decide if there really are aliens?
Yeah, I want to know what he saw now, because that's got to be more interesting than my 3 helicopters.
Rob writes, what's the best concert or sporting event you have ever been to?
My best concert was my first concert, which was Pink Floyd. Hard to beat that. 3-hour show, just amazing. And my best sporting event was probably my first hockey game, where I got to see a bench clearing brawl. I got to see a puck actually break the glass, and the broken glass went all over some lady. And I think it was an overtime game too, so it was fun.
Best concert, Music Midtown in Atlanta in 2002. It's big music festival, and they had just everything from Journey to Bone Thugs and Harmony to Kid Rock to Counting Crows. It was a heck of a festival.
Nice.
And this baseball game, I don't remember very well. I was like 7 years old at Fenway Park to see a Red Sox game, but my only memory from the game was the Kissing Bandit was there, and she came out and kissed, I think, Jose Canseco, and I thought that was funny.
All right.
You remember the Kissing Bandit?
Was that big-breasted lady who would just run out and kiss players and then get arrested?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Dog writes, do you believe in free will, or is any decision a matter of circumstances?
Can we dumb that question down a little bit?
So you're saying free will, or your decisions are forced by your circumstances?
I mean,
God forces, the higher power says God forces you to circumstances that make your decisions for you.
I mean, I think I believe in free will, but I think sometimes you don't really have a choice. I don't think it's some higher power making you not have a choice, but sometimes no matter what decision you make you're going to have pretty much the same outcome. But I don't think that's like divine intervention. I just think that's life.
I think it's the man. The man's holding us down.
Or the man.
Or the man. My son always says the man. You know, he's like something about like who did something. He'll be like, it was the man. The man did that. I always find it funny. Like speaking of my son, because I like to speak of him. So when I have a daughter also, and when I read to my daughter, I have like these girl books for her, like Fancy Nancy, and I was going to read my daughter. And my son's like, "You can't read that to her. That's a girl book." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I'm reading it to her." No, girls read that book. You have to read a boy book. I was like, "Oh, I did not think to look at it that way. You're right." George writes, also, guys, you should do a segment called The Inflatable Guys that have bloated contracts and how they are progressing during the season. And at the end of the regular season, have inflatables starting 5 casted by votes. Then Sacramento will sign 5 of them. Ha, 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 ha. George also writes, should the Knicks add another superstar next season? And so you think should be the most suitable to help in the triangle? Or should they look into solid role players that help in the triangle? George,
this is what happens when we put Ask Brink of Sanity question in our Facebook group.
I do that because no one responds to the other group.
Right, in our Knicks Facebook group, because then we get Knicks questions. So we will answer those during our Knicks show. If somehow you listen to this show and you also like the Knicks and don't know, we host the New York Knicks podcast, so you can hear the answers to those questions on that.
Dog writes, your top 5 musicals.
Oh yeah, because last week he asked music movies, and we had no idea what he was talking about.
Okay, those are my top 5 musicals.
You don't like musicals at all?
I don't know. Do you like musicals?
I like some. I probably like 5. I like.
Okay, what 5 musicals do you like?
Let's see.
And you talk about them at the gay bar.
Oliver. I liked Oliver. Mary Poppins.
Anyhow, I was talking about my
Chicago.
5 favorite musicals, and then he said he wanted to eat my man pussy.
Chicago. And then we'll pick 2 Disney movies: The Little Mermaid and. All right, well, 4. That's my top 4. Next.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is oh, whatever. Who cares? Do you want to talk about Ebola?
I mean, do you have something? Are you going to talk about the fact that our government has a patent on it?
I was going to talk about what's going on in Africa. I mean, that's second. But there's a huge Ebola. Is it Ebola or Ebola?
Ebola.
You say Ebola. I say Ebola. Let's call them. It sounds pretty awful. Do you know what Ebola does to you?
Murders you?
It's the human disease caused by the Ebola virus. Symptoms typically start 2 days to 3 weeks after infection. Fever, sore throat, muscle pains, headaches, typically nausea, vomiting, diarrhea occur, followed by decreased functioning of the liver and kidneys. At that point, the course of the Ebola virus, some infected people begin to suffer bleeding.
Because all the rest wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's really like it piles that shit on there and beats the crap out of you. And apparently the largest outbreak ever is going on in West Africa right now, which is not funny. But I'm going to read you some stuff about it anyhow. So there's an article I was reading about. They're having a lot of difficulties containing the Ebola virus. Are you shocked they have different difficulties in West Africa?
I'm not. Are you going somewhere with this?
I'm just going to read this. Difficulties faced in attempting to contain the outbreak include the outbreak's multiple locations across the country's borders, inadequate equipment given to the medical personnel, funeral practices, and public reluctance to follow preventative practices, including freeing suspected Ebola patients from isolation. So apparently people were rescuing the Ebola patients, letting them free so they can infect more people. And suspicion that the disease is caused by witchcraft or that doctors are killing patients.
Did you say witchcraft?
Yes.
I was kind of spacing out, and then I heard witchcraft.
What's so insane about this is part of the reason it's spreading so much in West Africa is because of the insanity of the people there.
Yeah.
Not that anyone deserves to have Ebola, but they're quarantining the people. People are coming there to protest and freeing those people. They're not in the hospital. No one washes their hands between patients. So they're working with blood in one patient, and they go to the next patient and haven't washed their hands, so they give the Ebola to the next person.
Great.
And basically they've been protesting where they're trying to like deal with the patients because they think it's witchcraft or that the government is killing people and calling it Ebola. There's an article talking about what they can do, and they said just by washing hands with soap and water prevents you from a lot of diseases. This is something they had explained to the hospital nurse staff.
Just by not being a filthy slob, you cannot infect all your other patients.
They say, for instance, the rule is for every patient you see and examine, once you touch, you must wash your hands with water and soap immediately after every patient. I believe this advice should be from the 18th century.
I feel like it's an Onion article.
I know Ebola is kind of something. Why are we talking about Ebola? It's just I was reading this, and I couldn't believe how insane it was. In Lagos, they're warning the public to be wary of pastors who claim to have cured the Ebola virus. So now there are people basically soothsayers who are going around going, I have cured Ebola. And the patients are still dying, but people think people are giving them lots of money.
Awesome.
And my boss at work is convinced that the Ebola is coming here and we should be scared.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who are convinced of that.
But it seems here that we wash our hands, and actually contract it is not that easy.
Right.
You have to like come in contact with their bodily fluids in some way or form.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it could be as little bit as sweat. So,
I can't hear you.
I mean, it could be as a little bit of sweat, though. So for those of us who take I don't know, New York subway, that could be a problem.
Yeah, I guess that could be a problem. They said also, even if you recover from the Ebola virus, for 2 months thereafter, you could transmit it through sex, which I think would be a funny thing. Like, oh hey, before we go home together, I have to let you know I had Ebola about a month ago. I should wear a condom. Another article here in Sierra Leone. Police were guarding an Ebola treatment center in Sierra Leone on Saturday, the day after thousands marched on the clinic following allegations by the former nurse that the deadly virus was invented to conceal cannibalistic rituals there.
That I don't get the correlation.
Right. I don't either.
You guys are cannibals. So
I don't
you
think anyone
virus?
gets the correlation. Essentially, no one trusts the government in that part of the world, understandably, because the government usually is mean to them.
Well, no, I get that, but like, there's no deadly virus because you're eating people. Like, I don't.
They're claiming that they're killing the people are just being killed by the doctors so they can eat them in a cannibalistic ritual instead of like, because like people go in the hospital and they die pretty fast from this. So they're like, no, he's not really sick. We're gonna eat him. I mean, we're gonna get him better.
So just their first gut reaction to people dying quickly is they were making human burgers. Like that's where they went right to that.
Thousands marched in the clinic. They had a major protest.
That was their first thing that could, out of all the possible scenarios, human burgers was their first gut reaction.
The police were forced to fire tear gas to disperse the crowds.
Well, I mean, aren't these also the same people that didn't know you're supposed to use soap in a sterile hospital environment?
A 9-year-old boy was shot in the leg by a police bullet.
Of course he was.
But it was all sparked by a former nurse that was in the hospital claimed that all this was happening. She claimed that Ebola was unreal and it was a gimmick.
This sounds like InfoWars.
Doesn't this sound like InfoWars? This is all reported by major news. Like, this is what's really going on over there.
So the whole world is really just like InfoWars. Maybe we shouldn't make fun of InfoWars. Maybe it's just real.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. It's apparently living over there must be awful.
Yeah.
Not only do I gotten sick, but now people are protesting the hospital is trying to treat me. Wonderful.
Oh, that must be fun.
Do you want to do Would You Rathers or InfoWars?
Let's do InfoWars first. We'll switch it up.
Please do. Hit me.
All right. So we have an article. All right. So for those of you who may not have heard this bit before, InfoWars is a conspiracy conservative website.
And Jay is a super conspiracy and conservative guy.
So, I mean, sometimes they have interesting articles, but even when they do, the comments are batshit crazy. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read to Mark an actual article that was on there, and Mark is going to try and guess what crazy comment was posted about it.
Right. The example we gave from a couple of shows ago, and we'll repeat this, was there's something about an article about school shootings going on, and the comment was that the school shootings were all a hoax and had never actually happened.
All the school shootings.
All of them a hoax. Okay, go on, Jay.
So this one is about somebody would just whistle blew the government saying that they are going to forcibly house homeless citizens in camps.
Wait,
So
that's the comment or the article?
that is the article. It's in Los Angeles. They have a big homeless problem. So what they're doing is they're rounding these people up and they're putting them in like this homeless shelter. But they're making them do that.
Oh, they're not letting people stay in the street. You're forced to go to the shelter.
Right.
Okay.
So that's the article.
So my comment would be that they're rounding the people up so they can give them Ebola so they could eat them in a cannibalistic experiment.
You're not too far off on this one. So they will. This is real comment. So they will use force to. They will be forced to chip them, which I guess is to put a microchip in them. That's a big topic on this site, and hold them until execution. Because if you can't see what's going to happen to them, you're deaf, blind, and dumb. You're spelled Y-O-U-R, of course. This is a crime of humanity. While our country is being flooded with more people, for some reason, more is capital M-O-O-R-E. Michael Moore people.
Yeah, I guess so.
I believe the illegals are being sent here to be executed as well. Because our borders are open.
So we're committing like mass genocide on homeless and illegals?
Right. So he's saying that the homeless people.
Why would you microchip them before you kill them?
So you can track them in case they get away.
But like, why don't you just kill them right away?
Because they have to round them all up. Because once they start, you're not following this at all, are you?
I am not following this story.
Once they start murdering all the homeless people are going to catch on pretty quickly. So they have to get them all chipped first, in case some of them run away once the murdering starts. It's quite simple.
Have you, just on a side note, have you heard the stories about those, like the people that they use the death penalty on and they do a poor job of killing them?
Yeah, I heard one guy, it was like an all-day thing.
Yeah. Why can't you just kill people better?
It's like, it costs $10,000 so we could use this lethal injection to make it more humane. Oh, wait, the guy suffered for like 8 hours.
I don't know. We live in a country where everyone's really big on guns. Why don't you just shoot the guy?
Exactly. If you're going to kill him anyway, that seems like it's probably the quickest way to do it.
Yeah. I don't see or guillotine.
So we could shoot everyone in every scenario except hardened criminals that you're going to murder anyway. Those guys you can't shoot them.
Yeah, there was an article in the New York Times over the weekend about like this guy got twice the normal dosage of, or 10 times the normal dosage of this killing stuff. And I guess it's a combination of like pain medications and sleep medications. I'm like, oh man, he got like 10 times the amount of dosage. That could have killed him. Okay, who cares?
Yeah.
Not that who cares. I guess the idea is people shouldn't suffer. But what the best way to make them not suffer would be like the guillotine. You're not going to screw up the guillotine.
It's completely painless and it's the quickest.
I'm pretty sure no one suffers. They get just like the actual going to putting your head in there has got to be kind of awful. But that ends pretty fast.
I propose we bring back the guillotine.
Yeah, I mean, like even with the firing squad, you could miss.
Mm-hmm.
Or you hit like the wrong, like you only like nick him and then he's like bleeding a little bit. You're not gonna really miss.
I think the idea behind the firing squad is there's like a dozen shooters, so for them to all miss would be pretty. You'd need a new firing squad, I would think.
I thought that wasn't it. I thought the firing squad, not all the guns have, like some of the guns have blanks.
No, only one has a blank, so every shooter can be like, well, I had the blank. But it's only one shooter who has the blank.
What if you just drop them from a plane?
Yeah, maybe they'll have some fun on the way down.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm freezing, burn out. Or like, why don't you shoot them out of a cannon? So like some kids like, the circus, oh God.
Or maybe like you get one last wish, but it's the only thing you could wish for is how we kill you.
Instead of the last meal, you can decide how you die.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be covered in sand.
Death by chocolate.
Death by chocolate. I can't eat anymore. Can't you just use the damn guillotine already?
You must eat more. Eat till your stomach explodes.
I can't believe I'm going to watch 3,000 comics do Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. It's going to be horrible. That wasn't me actually doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was me doing the criminal impression.
So the next one is North Korea vows to nuke the White House. Pretty self-explanatory.
Doesn't North Korea, isn't this part of like how they say hello? Like this is how they sign off their weekly broadcasts.
Yeah, they kind of vow to nuke everybody pretty much every day.
And that's what's as the prime minister, I'm telling you, that's what's going on in North Korea. Anyhow, Going to nuke the White House. Talk to you guys later.
So what do you think the crazy comment is?
North Korea is going to nuke the White House. What would be the crazy comment on that one?
You're not going to get this one.
I probably am not going to get this one, but let me try. I would have to think something along the lines of Obama is in on it. Obama has been sent here by the North Koreans. He's been programmed to be the Manchurian candidate. And he's setting it up so he's been cutting our budget, even though he hasn't, but supposedly cutting our military spending, and like he leaves it open so they can bomb what happened. Tell me.
This is a crazy comment with a crazier response.
Okay.
So the crazy comment is, I'm not fully convinced anybody has nuclear weapons. How do we know it's not just another fraud to enslave us? So nuclear weapons.
I didn't think to attack the question.
Nuclear weapons.
It's always that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's always, unless I actually built it myself, I don't believe it exists.
Exactly. So there's not even nuclear weapons.
It's like my theory about North Dakota not existing. I go.
Exactly.
Have you ever met anyone from North Dakota? Then how do you know?
And so this is the crazy response to the crazy comment. Especially when you watch PBS specials about Hiroshima and the other place, and they are interviewing 90-year-old survivors. How could that be possible? One lady said she even drank the black rain that fell afterward and no radiation sickness. So this person is agreeing that, actually taking it a step further and saying Hiroshima was faked and it didn't get bombed.
Is there anything that wasn't faked?
Not on this site.
If it didn't happen in my living room, then it didn't happen.
Isn't that unbelievable?
They do for everything. Like they're like, the Holocaust couldn't have happened. Those 6 million Jews are still on vacation.
They just wanted pity, so they made that whole thing up so we'd feel bad for them.
Yeah.
That was actually a comment.
I'm sure.
So I posted pictures of like Hiroshima radiation survivors, like with half melted faces and stuff. And
Did you ever see the Onion article on that?
No.
They do. It's like the Onion did like 100-year retrospective. Like supposedly the Onion was around for 100 years, and like they took the articles throughout history. And for the second bombing, they were like FDR is like, we just had the second bomb around, and was FDR or Truman? No, FDR, right?
I think
Truman.
so.
Truman, right?
I don't know.
Whatever. He's like, oh well, the second one was just around. It was gonna go to waste. We just had to use it.
That's pretty much what it was.
It was kind of fun. It was kind of funny. Like, hey, I think they got it the first time. Yeah. I would love to see like normal articles about like this year's orange crop is down because of some bacteria, and then someone commenting, oranges don't exist.
It's all who was Clinton's vice president? It's all Al Gore's propaganda for global warming.
Yeah, Al Gore made up the existence of the orange.
You want to do another one?
It's been enjoyable so far. Let me hear another one.
Are these crazier than you thought they would be?
So far, I've been 0 for 2. Go on.
Okay, so this next one is local police block roads to check every single vehicle going in and out of a village. This is because there was a murder in a small village, and they wanted to catch the murderer, so they made a road stop. Yeah. And when they talked to people, they would put an X on their hand to show that they talked to them.
Doesn't that seem inefficient? Like, the murderer's like, I have a magic marker. Got away with that.
Right. Yeah, not the greatest use of technology, but
yeah.
Anyway, that's what they did.
Okay, so the comment would be,
this is another one where you're going to be like, wow.
I feel like this one has to relate to Obama somehow or another. I think it's.
Obama is the root of all the problems on this site as well.
All the problems. I believe the X's are for those that are Christian, who they'll come for later. I have no idea. What is it?
What was really being wiped onto people's hands? What bacteria was being wiped on their hands in a possible mass contamination to which not one person resisted? What was really being placed on their skin to infect them? Yeah. And then somebody responded to that and wrote, "This is a test run on the transdermal vaccination called the X vaccine program, part of the binary XY nerve agent inoculation. And when they want to turn off their human resources, they just Agent Y, and like a switch, the nerve agent is activated."
I didn't even follow half of that. Oh my god. How is this not? This is funnier than The Onion.
Yeah. The Onion should just repost comments from InfoWars.
This is like the most brilliant comedy, like brilliant accidental comedy I've ever heard in my life. This is just a brilliant skit. I love this.
Except it's so scary that these are real human beings that really believe this and yell at me when I call them out on it.
It would never have occurred to me that they're infecting these people.
I mean, you're trying to come up with a crazy comment and you're not out crazying them.
Do you have another one? That may have been, that even beats the hoax one. That was maybe the best one I've ever heard.
No, but there is another crazy comment also to this article. That was there was so many good ones. I had to use multiple responses to this one. Mm-hmm. This is Ebola, a biological weapon created in a lab, the same as AIDS. The most dangerous part of this unleashing of a biological weapon is that the Chinese and Russians have clearly stated in the past that if it hits their countries, they will declare a war against the United States, Israel, and England, and launch an all-out thermonuclear strike against us. Is the CDC involved? They have the cure, but only for themselves. Yeah.
I love all the diseases where we created them, but we only have the cure for ourselves. We're not using the cure anywhere else.
Right.
I love those theories. That would have been a good comment if not for the comment before that, which was so much better.
Yeah, I should have did this one first. That last one was just off the wall.
That was off the wall. That would be your mic drop moment.
Yeah.
Creators in an international conspiracy to control mankind. Ka-chink. Boom.
I mean, there's always crazy comments, but I feel like the skit only works if it's so over the top.
Yeah, no, that was over the top. You have anything else, or you're done?
No, that's it. It was like a fairly, even though we ended up with that, it was a fairly sane week on that site.
Please get more, Jay. Please.
I will.
Okay, now we're going to do my Would You Rathers, my segment, which I ask Jay insane questions and see what he says. And then we have one more segment to go in which we will come up with a Kickstarter. We're going to try to finish this sooner than later. Would you rather be an asexual millionaire or be dirt poor but able to nail lots of chicks?
Asexual millionaire. Because I don't think you're going to realize that you don't have the urges if you're asexual.
Yeah,
or you're not going to care that you don't have urges.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah,
But you'll be.
So you're not jealous of the dirt poor guy nailing a lot of chicks because you're like, why would you want to nail chicks when there's chess?
Right, you nail chicks. I'll just plan my hovercraft.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 50,000-acre house and I could run around playing hide and go seek here.
Yeah, the other guy's like, but dude, I'm nailing chicks, and I'd be like, I don't care. I'm asexual.
Why would you ever want to nail a chick? I've got video games.
All of them.
Would you rather be a necrophiliac or a deaf mute?
Oh, Jesus.
I am weird.
Necrophiliac or a deaf mute?
For those that don't know what necrophiliacs are, they like to have sex with dead people.
Does this one have the caveat that you don't have to act on it?
No, you're really into this.
Oh, this is like I'm breaking into funeral homes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can just buy one and just like fuck it.
Where do you buy a corpse? Well, I guess if you're a necrophiliac, you'd figure out.
I'm sure there's a place you can buy it. I'm sure if you're a necrophiliac, you're part of a club, and they're like, "Ooh, new dead body! Oh man, I'm saving up for a really big one."
I'm sure there's a Reddit for that.
If it does, if is there such thing as a necrophiliac pedophile, or just everyone's just a necrophiliac? It doesn't matter whether they're kids or not.
I don't know. It's like, is it like extra bad if you're a necrophiliac pedophile?
In the same lines, are there some necrophiliacs who are just like gay or straight necrophiliacs? Like, I'm only gonna do a dead dude. I would never do a dead woman.
I mean,
That'd be
I like
gross.
corpses, but I'm not some kind of fag.
Yeah.
This-
I want to know a necrophiliac. Jay, next show, could you get a gay guy and a necrophiliac on the show so we can talk about these things?
we need a gay guy, a necrophiliac, and a gay necrophiliac. I would
Like, is it if it's two dead bodies? Is it like a threesome?
This is a really tough one. I might even.
Because the
Go,
deaf mute's pretty fucking bad.
it's really bad. It's really bad.
That's really you. That's like, you might as well just be that. You might as well be the victim of necrophilia.
I might go necrophiliac on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you one that you couldn't, you'd have to act on. That'd be too easy.
Yeah.
That's the one that you really want to act on.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, it's a. I mean, you don't even really know me that well. I'm glad you came to my aunt's funeral. That's really nice of you. Why do you have a heart on? Can I just touch the body? Let me touch the body. This one's a bad one. This is, but would you rather have Asperger's or Tourette syndrome?
Oof. That's another tough one. I would think
James' question: would you rather be a Mets fan or a Yankee fan?
I think I would go with Asperger's.
Would you rather be in black and white or Technicolor? I would go Asperger's because Asperger's guys can make a lot of money. You don't hear about like rich, famous Tourette syndrome people. Like Asperger's, like there's like guys like are at Finex that have Asperger's and make millions of dollars.
Yeah, you could be functional, and I guess you could actually have some sort of like Rain Man type of skill.
Did you know that George Clooney has Tourette syndrome? No, that never happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you know Bill Gates has Tourette's? No, he doesn't. No one ever does. Those people all have horrible lives.
Yeah.
Okay, next show we need a necrophiliac, gay person, and someone with Tourette syndrome.
And Asperger's.
And Asperger's. Would you rather get famous and rich by looking like a moron in a viral video, or look really cool in a viral video that you get known for but don't make a penny? And what made me think about this, you remember that song Friday?
Yeah.
That girl? That stupid girl, like her parents paid like a couple $1,000s for her to make a video, and like everyone said it was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Apparently she's worth $1.5 million off of that.
Yeah, I would rather be mocked than have $1.5 million.
I agree, because she always be like, ha ha, you look like such a loser. Yeah, I'm going to go swim my money, bitches.
Exactly.
That's cool. I'll buy new friends. Would you rather your significant other has an affair and tells you, or doesn't tell you and you never find out? Either way, your significant other is getting nailed.
Right. I think I would rather know, and then I get a freebie.
But here you can like the other choice is not to know, but you never find out. There's no chance you ever find out.
Is it a one-time thing, or is this like a recurring thing?
Yeah, one-time thing. I think if it's a continual thing, I think everyone's gonna choose no.
Yeah.
Everyone would want to know, but if like it's one time, she's on a work thing and she just nails some dude.
I guess I'd rather never know. Let the guilt destroy her.
Let her kill herself. Would you take? I only a couple more, but I enjoy these. Would you take $1 million if it meant your significant other could read all your thoughts?
No. I don't think so. I think I'd be in jail.
Would you rather have your significant other or your family members be able to read your thoughts?
Oh, God.
I believe that would be the biggest nightmare ever, having other people be able to read my thoughts.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I see my parents less, but I would want them to know my thoughts even less.
I don't know, but it's also your significant other you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
I know. Well, she could read my thoughts. It might be a lot sooner than the rest of my life. I think it might have to be my. See, that's the thing. It's definitely going to be an ex if it's a significant other.
She's never gonna understand.
No,
Your
never.
family's gonna be just ashamed of you.
Yeah, I know. Might be. I'd probably have to go with significant other.
I'd go with my family. I don't know.
I'd never be able to look my parents in the eye again.
Would you take $1 million if it meant a small town in Iowa could read all your thoughts?
Yeah. What would they? They just like log onto a site and they could like.
Obviously, they'd publish this all on the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you? Oh my God, Jason. He's you know what? He got into that whole necrophilia thing now.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather get $100 million or get 5 minutes to actually speak with God? And let's pretend I'm guessing you don't actually believe in him, or her. So let's pretend that God actually exists. Do you believe in God?
No.
I didn't think you did. Or get 5 minutes to actually speak with God, where He'll answer all your questions. Keep in mind, most people will not believe you spoke to God.
Nobody will believe me.
No one will believe you. You'll be just as crazy as all those people that see Jesus in their pancakes and their cornflakes. But you will actually get to speak to God, and God will answer you. Or you get $100 million.
$100 million, huh?
$100 million.
That's a really tough one.
I enjoy these so much.
There's a lot of stuff I would really like to know. And it would be really cool knowing, like, you know, if there's life on other planets, or, you know, if there's life.
What if you spoke to God and God's like, yeah, 8 million light years away from here, there's an entire planet just like Earth. What are you gonna do with that information?
Tell people and have them call me stupid.
Or what if everyone in the world knew you spoke to God and you're like, yeah, there's life 8 million solar systems away from here. And everyone's like, okay, I guess life's out there, guys. Let's close up shop. Nothing we can do with this information.
Sorry, NASA. Time to shut it down.
I mean, it's there, but we can't get there. Oh, great. Hopefully God will tell them about us and maybe we'll become pen pals.
I might have to go with the 100 million just because what are you going to do with that information? You're right. It's like, all right, I know things, but
you'd have a life answer. You could say, what happens after death? And you would know that, and that would be, I'm assuming God didn't say something horrendous. That'd be interesting information to get.
Yeah, but what if you say what happens after you die, and he's just like, well, you're just done and you're dirt.
Well, that's what you have the risk you have to take. I mean, you're not going to know the answers until you speak to him.
That's not worth
$100
million.
Like, yeah, you spend the whole time in the coffin. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's not really worth 100. And then I could be like, I could add $100 million.
Yeah, like at least the next 30 years would be kind of cool before I lay in that coffin for eternity.
Yeah, I might go with 100 million.
Would you rather have an ex-girlfriend come to you and tell you that you are a father of her kid and the kid is like 7 years old and you need to support him, or would you rather have the exact same scenario but not find out until the kid is 18?
18.
If you're gonna have a fucked up situation anyhow, you might as well find out later on when you don't have to support him, huh?
Yeah, if I'm gonna miss like the whole fun part watching the kid grow up, I don't need the part where he's already like, you know, a destroyed brat that I have to pay money for.
I'm almost done with these. Would you rather marry a super rich, famous lesbian who is closeted and wants to marry you to pretend to be straight, but you will never be able to sleep with another woman? So you're basically like her showpiece that they use to pretend she's a lesbian.
But she would get super pissed if I cheated.
Yeah, you're not allowed to cheat, but you also get to live a super luxurious lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Or you marry a super rich dude, same luxurious lifestyle, who needs to be married for some reason. You don't have to do anything gay with him. Just appear to be his gay husband publicly, and you are allowed to sleep with any woman you want as long as you keep it on the down low. So would you rather publicly be married to a woman but not allowed to have sex with anyone else, or publicly be gay but allowed to nail chicks?
Yeah, I'd go with the publicly gay one. I just wouldn't go down south.
Would you rather become president of the United States and have all the stress and public scrutiny that comes with that, or just be given $10 million?
Oh, I mean,
That's my last one.
I know I'm taking the money in a lot of these scenarios, but I think I would go with the money on this one too, because I feel like Congress would
Fuck
probably.
God, I'll take the money. Be president, I'll just take the money.
Well, I think probably Congress would veto anything I came up with. And if I proposed too many things that were outside the box, they would probably just hire somebody to murder me.
Obama should have taken the money.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kickstarter. Our last bit before the show ends. The show's gone pretty long today, right?
We just hit the hour mark.
Okay, so we're done soon. So on Kickstarter, someone said they were making a potato salad and wanted, what was it, $8 to make the potato salad?
I believe 10.
$10.
They were going for like a high grade potato salad.
Yeah, and they said everyone can come over and try the potato salad. Kickstarter is a site where you raise money to do stuff. Anyhow, so this guy has now raised a grand total of $55,000 of his goal of $10. What does it mean on that site? You pledge $55,000. Does he actually get the money, or like it's something that has to happen before he gets the actual money?
You can pull out before the thing ends.
Yeah,
But I think once it ends, you're obligated to pay whatever you pledge.
but the thing ended already because they got the $10 a long time ago.
Yeah, but you can keep extending it. If you say I started one for 100 and I hit 100 in an hour, but I had it set for 4 days, it keeps going the 4 days, and you could even extend it beyond the 4 days if it's going really well.
Oh, so at some point he has to stop this and like pull out.
I heard it went up to 75 and then it started dropping again, so he probably ended it when he saw that happening.
Good idea. So anyhow, so we wanted to think of a Kickstarter where people will give us lots of money for a really dumb idea, like making potato salad.
Right.
You think the guy actually made potato salad? Like one day he's like, okay, guys, I'm going to make my $10 potato salad.
Well, yeah, you have to.
I'm not going to buy the organic potatoes from Whole Foods. What am I, a rich man?
Well, I mean, you have to do what you're say you're going to do. He said he would make the potato salad, and anybody who wanted to fly in could come over and eat the potato salad.
Yeah.
And I think since he was making so much money, he said he was getting shirts made to say something like "I love potato salad," and he was going to send that to anybody who donated over like $20.
So anyhow, so what idea? Forget it, I don't care not much about his idea as much as I want to replicate it. And we can't just say we're making a taco salad because no one's going to go with that.
Right.
So what can we do? We're actually going to do the Kickstarter once we come up with it. And we'd like people to give their ideas and their suggestions because
Right.
we'll put that Kickstarter up.
Exactly. Yeah, you can email us.
No one's going to email you, Jay. What's the email address?
The email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. And you can also find us on Facebook and send us a message there. Or you can find us on Twitter. We are at brinkofsanity3. That really grinds my gears that I had to have that 3 on there.
On a side note, my daughter, she has a lot of hair for a baby. And my wife likes to put bows in the hair. And she's always like, don't lose the bows. And one day she's like, I lost the bow. And I was like, one of the bows that was in her hair. And I was like, whatever, you lost a bow in her hair. We'll just get more bows. What are they, a quarter? And she's like, they're not a quarter, they're like $3 each. And I was like, you lost the bow?
No more bows.
I couldn't even get over it. She was like, you thought they were just a quarter? I'm like, they're little bows that go in a baby's hair. Why do they cost so much money? Maybe that made me angry. So we can do bows on Kickstarter. We can make baby bows.
Or maybe that should be what we're going to do with the money is support your baby bow fund.
Yeah. Maybe we could have a Kickstarter to get someone to toilet train my son because it's not going very well for my wife and I.
But it's a reason you need money.
Oh, yeah. I just need hope. I think I'd ask God in those 10 minutes, those 5 minutes, how to potty train him. Uh, Here's this. I had one idea. You like comic books, right?
I do.
So why don't we make a comic book with 4 heroes with the most meaningless superpowers ever and their adventures? So one superhero has the ability to stop a sneeze in its track. Stop the sneeze. That would be a terrible superpower. Another one has the ability to predict the weather an hour ahead of time. It's going to rain in 45 minutes. I'm positive about this. Yeah, I know. I have an app that tells me that. No. I actually know. Yeah, I know. The app really. I know. I have a superpower. I have an app. The ability to eat as much food as possible without gaining weight. I can eat as much as I want, and I stay exactly the same weight. It's helpful when people have to get rid of food and they don't want to throw it away, and I'm like, I can just eat it. It's okay. And an ability to levitate 1 foot off the ground. Oh, I don't want to step on that anthill. Good thing I can levitate over it. Yeah, superpower.
I'm all in on this, but I can't draw that well, so we need to hire an artist as well.
God damn, that's going to run some money.
Well, I mean, we could ask for enough money to hire an artist.
Can anyone out there draw and wants to do this? I mean, like, we have Stop Sneeze Man, who would be a wonderful superhero in times of pollen crisis.
He could follow, like, real superheroes around, just in case they're in the middle of a battle and they have to sneeze.
Yeah, like, Superman, look out, it's Lex Luthor, and you gotta do stop the sneeze. Predicting the weather ahead of time would be really helpful. Like, you're gonna go out and catch cold, and then the sneeze guy's gonna have to stop your sneezes. But I'm just telling you not to go outside because I know it's gonna rain because of those dark clouds, and I don't know this. I have this power. It's okay. I don't have to work out after the hot dog eating contest. I never gain weight.
So we have a mediocre superpower comic book.
Yeah, people can vote on these things. I don't know where they can vote.
Just contact us through all the other stuff we said.
What's your Kickstarter idea, Jay?
I wanted to have a big burlap sack with a money symbol on it, like like the thieves used to have. But then we have no money, so the Kickstarter is to fill that burlap sack up with dollar bills. It's kind of like so we could play cops and robbers.
What about recreating the Scrooge McDuck's like thing where he swims through with money?
He's swimming through a room of gold coins.
The only thing is, then you have to raise a lot of money to get gold coins. It has to be something cheap where people contribute to. Like, how much money is going to be in your sack?
Well, if I fill it up with dollar bills, you probably need like a couple thousand.
Right, but like this guy was like $10 for a potato salad. We need something that's cheaper.
If it's dollar bills, maybe a couple hundred. Yeah, you're right. It needs to be something that's like under $100.
What if your entire thing is, I'm going to make it rain with dollar bills, y'all. I need like 25 to make it rain for like 30 seconds.
It's going to be more like a drizzle.
I know there were dollar bills. I can't predict that ahead of time. I can only predict actual precipitation.
Yeah, I didn't think about the whole budget thing, but we're going to need something a lot cheaper.
Yeah, because I mean, like if it's thousands of dollars, then people are gonna be like, well, you'll never get that high, so I'm not gonna contribute. Versus like $10, people are like, I can contribute $1, and I'm actually making 10% of the price.
Right. All right. Well, we're gonna have to work on this more. Send in.
How about a Kickstarter to get you HBO for a couple months so you can watch
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Yeah, that would be funny as hell. Like you're just like, I read the books. I mean, HBO is like $15 a month. I don't want to pay $15 a month. People can't keep sending me links that I can watch it online. I mean, I think that's illegal, and also like I don't watch it on my computer. I got a HD TV so I can watch it on HD. What the hell, HBO? I don't want to pay $15 a month. That's a lot of money. So could someone just send me money? So I figure I could probably watch this show in 2 months, which is like $30. Can we raise $30?
I like it.
We should do this Kickstarter. Isn't that a pretty good idea?
I think that's a very good idea.
Okay, what's the next step?
Next step is we actually have to film a mini video. so we can upload it to Kickstarter.
Oh, you need a video?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't, but you're not going to get, you know, you're not going to get anybody to contribute unless you make a video.
Do you have a camera
I
for
do.
filming?
I do have a video camera.
Okay, so we can have you like reading the book and getting all excited, and then being like, "What? I can't watch this on regular television. God damn it, HBO!" And then have you calling up HBO and them going, $15? You had a promotion last month. It's not this month. God damn it.
Yep. Next time you come over for a podcast, we'll film a Kickstarter video.
Let's do this. I think that'd be a funny video.
I think that'll be amazing. All right, so that's our show for today.
Let us know what you think of our Kickstarter idea. Once we actually film it and put it up there, well, we're going to be promoting it nonstop till we get the $30.
And then I'm really going to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, I'm really going to come watch over, and anyone that wants to come over can come watch with me.
Except I don't want you in my house.
You can come over, but you have to agree not to talk during the episodes and like not tell me how it's different than the books, because I like the books, but I want to see their interpretation. You should go all in depth about this. I know this should be better than the Dexter books. The Dexter books like were really good, but the show like didn't follow them. Why don't you follow it? I could write this whole thing.
Okay, yeah, this is our Kickstarter.
That's a funny Kickstarter.
Yeah, good.
Okay, that's our show.
All right, so thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.